we get to cluster C, and we're thinking of fearful, anxious folks. And we have dependence, and that's an easy word to understand. It's basically what the word represents. These are folks who are dependent on others. Dependent on others to make decisions for them, even major life decisions. They can't operate alone. They don't have the ego strength to do that. They need people in their lives. Obsessive-compulsives, and there's a difference between obsessive-compulsive disorder, which is an anxiety disorder, and obsessive-compulsive personality disorder, which is a personality disorder. It's OCD versus OCPD. Obsessive-compulsive here means that these folks are perfectionistic. Everything has to have its order, be in its own place, that sort of thing. And any movement away from order is very frustrating, or may even create anger. Frasier, I know that's an older show, but it's still in syndication. You may be familiar with the show, but Frasier and his brother have OCPD patterns. Anyways, and you can probably think of other shows where you can see some of these personality disorders. Avoidant, the last one here, is folks are avoidant. In a sense, they're kind of like schizoid, asocial folks. They're not excited about relationships, or they avoid relationships, not because they don't want them, but they're not excited if there's any fear or any potential of being rejected or hurt. They don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to be humiliated. They don't want to put their foot in their mouth, So they only want safe relationships. So they avoid people unless it's safe. They're not the type of person who wants to work up the chain in an occupational setting where they're in charge of people. That would be just too intimidating for these folks. So avoidants avoid people, not because they don't want them in their lives. They do want them, but only if they're safe. So that's just a little introduction to the personality disorders. My acronym to remember all 10 is PSS, postscript script, BAN H, BAN hate, BAN H, BAN H is borderline antisocial narcissistic histrionic, PSS is paranoid schizoid schizotypal. PSS, BAN hate, or be dead on arrival. DOA, dependent, obsessive compulsive, avoidant. That's a good way to remember all 10. All right. And I'm sure if you thought about some of your favorite shows that you watch, you could probably find a character from one of the shows that you do watch on a consistent basis that would meet the criteria for some of these personality disorders. Anyway, that's hopefully our goal, is to get familiar with personality disorders so that we can recognize when someone needs help. Maybe you're heading into the teaching field or the administration field, or you're heading into the counseling field. If you're heading into the counseling field, you're going to run into personality disorders. But you're also going to run into personality disorders in the other two domains. And it may be helpful information to know what you're dealing with, and that there is help around the corner, that people can change, even though these conditions are resistant to change. In the hands of the right clinician and with enough motivation of the client, change is always possible. So that's it in a nutshell for the introductory lecture of this series. Thank you for listening.